Today, if you encounter a psychopath, society has a system. You lock your doors, you call the police, you build a physical wall between you and the danger. Or if the psychopath is highly intelligent, you watch them become your boss, a CEO, or a politician. Modern society is massive. It is built to absorb people who have absolutely no empathy. But 50,000 years ago, this safety net did not exist. There were no police, there were no prisons, there was no HR department to complain to. You lived in a nomadic tribe of about 30 to 50 people. These 30 people were your entire universe. You hunted with them, you gathered with them, you slept shoulder to shoulder with them in the dirt every single night. Your survival depended entirely on radical cooperation. If you got sick, the tribe fed you. If you broke your leg, the tribe carried you. Now imagine being trapped in the freezing wilderness with those 30 people, and one of them is fundamentally broken. They look just like you. They speak your language, but behind their eyes, there is a cold, empty void. They feel no empathy. They feel no guilt. They feel no remorse. In a world where sharing and trust were the only things, keeping the human race from going extinct, a psychopath was an existential threat. They were an apex predator living inside your own camp, and you couldn't just pack your bags and leave. Leaving the warmth of the fire meant walking into the dark. It meant starvation. It meant being eaten alive by cave hyenas or saber-toothed cats. You were completely trapped with a monster. So, what did our ancestors do? The answer reveals a terrifying hidden chapter of human history, a brutal system of justice that shaped the very wiring of your brain today. It starts with small things. In the Stone Age, equality was not a political ideal. It was a strict biological necessity. Anthropologists call this reverse dominance hierarchy. If a hunter killed a massive mammoth, he was not allowed to brag. If he boasted about his kill, the rest of the tribe would mercilessly mock him. They would insult his meat. They would tell him he was weak. This was an ancient psychological mechanism designed to keep anyone from thinking they were better than the group. Arrogance led to tyranny, and tyranny led to death. But the psychopath does not care about the rules. The mask begins to slip. You notice it during the hunt. A fellow hunter gets gored by a wild boar. He is bleeding out in the snow. Everyone else is panicking, trying to stop the bleeding. But the psychopath just watches. His heart rate doesn't rise. His breathing remains perfectly calm. He is merely observing the pain, fascinated by it, but entirely untouched by it. Then come the power plays. He starts taking slightly more meat than he earned. He lies with incredible ease. He manipulates the younger members of the tribe. He starts hoarding resources. In modern times, this person becomes a corrupt executive. In the Paleolithic era, this person was a ticking time bomb. The tension in the camp becomes unbearable. Everyone feels it. Every time he looks at you, your primal instincts scream that something is horribly wrong, but no one says a word out loud because the psychopath is strong, ruthless, and entirely unpredictable. You cannot fight a predator head on. If you challenge him directly, he will kill you in your sleep. He has no moral barrier stopping him from crushing your skull with a rock. So, ancient humans invented a silent weapon, gossip. Today, we think of gossip as a toxic, petty habit. But evolutionary biologists believe gossip was actually humanity's first survival tool against psychopaths. It was the original early warning system. During the day, the tribe separates. The men go into the forest to track animals. The women go into the valleys to forage for roots and berries. And away from the psychopath's ears, they talk. They compare stories. They validate each other's fears. Did you see how he looked at my child? Did you notice he didn't share his water yesterday? He is not one of us. This whisper network was a matter of life and death. It was how the tribe built a consensus. They were forming an invisible web of surveillance around the dangerous individual. Every move he made was watched. Every lie he told was recorded in the collective memory of the tribe. They were waiting for him to make a mistake. But here is the darkest twist of ancient human psychology. They didn't always want to kill him right away. Sometimes they wanted to use him. Psychopathy is highly heritable. It is passed down through genetics, which presents a massive evolutionary puzzle. If ancient humans hated psychopaths so much, why didn't they wipe the gene out completely? Why do psychopaths still exist today? Because occasionally, having a monster on your leash was incredibly useful. Imagine your tribe is starving. A rival group of humans has taken over the river valley. They are heavily armed and they outnumber you. You need to fight them for territory. But normal humans are terrified of violence. Normal humans hesitate. Normal humans feel trauma. The psychopath does not. When the tribe goes to war, the psychopath becomes the ultimate weapon. He charges into the enemy camp without a drop of fear in his veins. He slaughters the rival hunters without a single second of hesitation. He does the brutal, terrifying things that normal humans are too empathetic to do. And when the blood dries, he sleeps perfectly soundly. Evolutionary psychologists call this the warrior hawk theory. Tribes that had one or two psychopathic members often survived brutal conflicts tactics better than tribes composed purely of empathetic people. The psychopath was a tool, a sharp, bloody spear that the tribe pointed at their enemies. But a spear doesn't have loyalty, and eventually, the monster always turns around. The usefulness of the psychopath runs out. He becomes drunk on his own power. He realizes that the rest of the tribe is bound by rules of fairness, empathy, and guilt. He views these emotions as weaknesses. He views his own tribe as prey. He crosses the final line. He steals another man's mate. He beats a younger tribe member to death in a fit of sudden, unprovoked rage. He tries to declare himself the absolute ruler of the camp. The tribe is now facing extinction from the inside. They cannot exile him. Exile is a modern concept. If you banish a psychopath into the wilderness, two things will happen. Either he will stalk your camp from the shadows and pick you off one by one, or he will join a rival tribe. Tell them all your weaknesses and lead a raiding party to slaughter you. Exile is not an option. Containment is not an option. There is only one solution left. The whisper network stops whispering. The decision is made. Anthropologists call this phenomenon egalitarian policing. It is the oldest justice system in the world, and it is entirely invisible. There is no judge, there is no jury, there is no grand trial. Confronting a violent psychopath publicly gives him a chance to fight back. It gives him a chance to take someone with him. Instead, the tribe acts as a single, silent organism. They hold a secret meeting in the dead of night, far from the main fire. Every adult member of the tribe must agree. It has to be unanimous. If even one person objects, the plan cannot move forward. But the fear is absolute. The vote is cast in total silence. The psychopath is sentenced to death. But now the tribe faces an incredibly dangerous problem. Who is going to do it? If a rival hunter kills him, the psychopath's family might seek revenge. Even if they hate him, human bloodlines demand retaliation. If another family strikes the blow, it will ignite a blood feud that will tear the tiny tribe apart. They cannot risk a civil war. So ancient humans developed a horrifying, heartbreaking rule. A rule that has been documented in modern hunter-gatherer tribes from the Amazon to the Kalahari. The executioners cannot be strangers. They cannot be rivals. The people who deliver the fatal blow must be the psychopath's own flesh and blood. It is his own brother. It is his own father. They are chosen to protect the rest of the tribe from a cycle of revenge. They must extinguish their own bloodline to save the whole. The night of the execution arrives. The camp is dead silent. The fire has burned down to glowing red embers. The sky is pitch black. The psychopath is asleep. He thinks he is invincible. He thinks the tribe is too weak, too pathetic, and too cowardly to ever touch him. He is completely unaware that the collective empathy he despised is what just sealed his fate. Three shadows detach themselves from the edge of the camp. They do not make a sound. They are holding heavy stones and sharpened wooden spears. They surround his sleeping mat. They look down at the face of their brother, their son. There is no hesitation now. They know what he is. They know he is not human on the inside. The strike is instantaneous. It is brutal. It is overwhelmingly violent to ensure he cannot make a sound or fight back. In seconds, the apex predator is dead. The rest of the tribe wakes up, but nobody screams. Nobody investigates. The body is dragged out into the dark. It is left for the hyenas. By sunrise, the camp goes back to normal. The tyrant is gone. The terror is lifted. The tribe survives for another day. This wasn't an isolated incident. This secret bloody ritual happened thousands of times across tens of thousands of years all over the planet. Tribes methodically executing their most arrogant, manipulative, and violent members in the middle of the night. And this brutal ancient justice left a permanent scar on your brain. Have you ever wondered why you are so deeply terrified of public speaking? Have you ever wondered why social rejection physically hurts? Why the thought of being hated by a large group of people causes you severe anxiety and panic attacks? It is not just insecurity, it is survival programming. Your DNA remembers what happened to people who stood out too much. Your brain remembers what happened to people who acted arrogantly, who defied the group, who made the tribe turn against them. They didn't just get canceled, they got a rock to the back of the head in the middle of the night. We evolved to be highly sensitive to the opinions of others because our ancestors survived by blending in, by cooperating, by proving day after day that they were not a threat. The psychopaths forced us to become hypersocial. They forced us to develop deep empathy, strong morals, and a paralyzing fear of being outcast. We built our entire civilization on the ashes of the monsters we killed in the dark. So tonight, when you turn off the lights and lie in your bed, remember this. The only reason you are here to feel the darkness is because your ancestors were the ones who held the spears.